Urgent call for the duty inspector.
D.I. Denton.
DSG Neekers calling with request for urgent assistance. Immediate incredible threat to life.
We need Gold to sign off.
Chief Super's gone home.
Well, then call him at home.
This is Chief Superintendent Malik. Please leave your name and number and I will get back to you.
Not picking up his mobile either. Really ought to give him another 5 minutes. Mom. There she goes.
Deputy Chief Constable Dryden.
Sir, this is D.I. Lindsay Denton.
Yes, Linda, how can I help you?
Sir, I need Gold approval for an op.
We like to know where we're going?
Suspect in a missing persons inquiry. Need to get him in for questioning. No, my car.
What?
Just come on. Come on!
DS Seekers, thanks for stepping in, Mum. I need a safe and available destination ASAP. Straight into town?
I'd take the back roads.
You lead. Have your men in my car, engine running, ready to go.
Yeah, I'm going to take the rest of your team.
It's just me.
What?
Mum. Please.
Okay. Keep the radio in the car on channel 1. Personal radios back to back on 2.
Who's in the house?
I don't know. Just move, please.
Wallace the Denton is straight on here, ma'am.
Yeah, I know the way to my own station. Charlie Mike 25, status 0. Status 0, Long Lane and Crown Avenue.
Charlie Mike 25, confirm message.
Status 0! Status 0!
Pushing.
Two breaths, please.
How are you, Lindsay?
Two more, please.
Is anything I can get you?
No, thanks.
up to answering a couple of questions.
I'm just trying to get my head around what happened out there, sir.
And no one seems to know what you were up to.
Not sure I do either.
Wallace and Butler are dead. The other two,
Let's have the next shot ready.
still trying to save. Who are they?
I'm not clear yet on whether that's something I should be divulging, sir.
It'd help to know. I got your messages. Instead of dropping me in it, if you'd give me a minute to get back to you.
I gave you more than a minute. I gave you 20.
Two more breaths, please.
No, I'm calling it. Asystolic. Pulseless for 20 minutes. Everyone okay with that? Okay. CPR discontinued at 23:12.
Everybody! Evidence recovery is ongoing, so guys, please respect the limits of the cordon at all times. Our forensic scene investigators have worked right. Talk to me if you need any light and children.
This way, sir.
Deputy Chief Constable Dryden.
There's been an attack on the police. 3 of our colleagues have lost their lives in the line of duty. Our first thoughts are with their families. But now the hunt begins for the people who committed this brutal crime.
This way. As you were.
The transit convoy was ambushed. 2 4th Street officers shot dead. The vehicle was set alight, and the witness and the handler suffered critical burns and gunshot wounds. The handler was pronounced dead on arrival at the hospital. We've been assigned to investigate the possibility that a police officer or officers tipped somebody off.
Who is he?
Classified. He was under witness protection, new identity, relocation, the works.
And how is he so the witness?
Critical, but stable. I'll ask you a question.
Depends on the question.
Critical but stable. What does that mean exactly?
Well, he's been lucky. His chances are good.
Well, it doesn't look very lucky.
I'll set up an alert. As soon as he comes round, we'll be banging on his door, thank you.
He said it was a convoy. Who was in the other vehicles?
Just one vehicle, driven by our only survivor, D.I. Lindsay Denton.
Well, what can we talk to her?
I'm chasing, but she's in counselling.
We're allowed to know the names of the deceased officers.
4th Street Station. Sergeant Alex Wallace, PC Vincent Butler, and the third victim's name is being withheld from the public because she was from Witness Protection, DS Jane Akers.
Sorry, sir, I'll be down in 5.
Sure.
You got a minute, sir?
See you back at the office.
This one's not for me, sir.
This is going to be a very high-profile case. I need my best team.
I'm flattered, sir, but I knew Jane Akers. We went through writing together.
Sure, half the job went through training together. We're not investigating Akers.
Not yet.
There's 3 of our own in the morgue.
Am I meant to be angry? Is that it, sir?
Well, you ought to be. And if I find out a police officer is responsible, even in the slightest, I'll be livid.
I'm not. That's the problem.
Problem?
I'd rather not investigate the death of a former colleague. I like keeping a distance.
What about Steve? Well, I'll have to find him a new partner, and I expect he won't like it. Where you go?
Well, there shouldn't be a problem. I mean, he just needs to speak to me.
Sorry to keep you.
No problem, sir.
DC, Georgina Trotman, meet DS. Stephen Arnott. Steve, meet your new partner.
Actually, sir, it's Georgia.
Georgia. Sorry.
Pleased to meet you.
Likewise.
I've just been given the operational parameters. Witness protection is off limits.
Christ's sake.
Yep. Major violent crime are going after the gunman. So, SE12's brief is to investigate the suspicion that information leakage by a police officer is part of the setup of the ambush.
Sir.
Steve, I get it. But this is how Dryden wants it. We get the 4th Street officers.
Only one still alive.
So, you go after Denton.
Very good, sir.
Thank you. You too.
She up to it?
Get you. The big I am. Yes, I think so.
This investigation.
Aye. That's the spirit.
Welcome to AC-12.
Yes, no, that's fine with me.
Morning, Mum. How are you faring, Mum?
Okay, thanks.
Anything I can do, don't hesitate.
Cheers, Sarge.
Welcome back, Lindsay.
Sir.
You've been through a lot. Just take it steady.
Thanks.
This one's taken. I said this one's taken.
No firearms. No backup. Should be you were burying, you stupid bitch.
DR Royal, DR Denton.
AC-12 interview. DI Lindsay Denton and Federation Rep DI Samuel Royal in the presence of Superintendent Hastings, DS Arnett, DC Trotman.
D.I. Denton, thank you very much for coming in today. Let's be clear, you're being interviewed today as a witness, not as a suspect in any matters of crime, discipline or misconduct.
Whatever I can do to help, sir.
Thank you. So how did you come to be involved in the operation that took place on the night of September the 5th?
Just bad luck. I was on the ghost rotor. The duty sergeant took a call and passed it on to me.
And what was said in that call?
The caller identified herself as DS Akers. DS Jane Akers. Akers, or the individual identifying herself as Akers, advised me that there was an immediate and credible threat to the life of a protected witness.
Did she expand on the nature of that threat?
No, she did not.
Did she give any indication as to where that information came from?
No, she did not.
Go on.
DS Akers requested assistance.
You were the duty station.
D.I. Denton is entitled to be questioned by an officer at least one rank superior.
There's no suspicion of D.I. Denton. She's being interviewed purely as a witness.
Yeah.
Sam, it's all fine. We were the duty station, as at that time Akers and the witness were located within the precinct of 4th Street and 4th Street Estate.
And did you share that information with the officers of 4th Street Station?
No, I did not, sir.
You did not? Why not?
DS Akers impressed on me the secure nature of our communication and that I should only involve others when strictly operationally necessary. I invented a cover story involving the arrest of a missing person suspect.
You shared the information with no one.
I discussed the matter with Deputy Chief Constable Dryden. I sought his approval to render assistance.
Didn't DS Akers advise you to inform as few people as possible?
A critical incident response of that type requires gold approval, sir.
Quite right.
You always adhere to regulations.
That's what they're there for.
I can see you and I are going to get on like a house on fire, D.I. Denton. So, Deputy Chief Constable Dryden, what induced you to call him in particular?
An incident occurred a few months ago in which the duty CS failed to answer. DCC Dryden made it clear that he could be contacted in such circumstances. I think it was his way of finding out which brass were pulling the weight and which weren't.
And why did you assign Wallace and Butler?
They were two officers I knew by reputation. They could handle themselves.
Two unarmed officers.
No firearms? No backup?
If there was anything I could do to reverse that decision, sir.
D.I. Denton's statement records she was acting on D.S. Akers' instructions.
Nobody's blaming you. I mean, if those were Akers' instructions, I just thought you might think they were a bit irregular.
You took the view it was Akers' area of specialisation.
Exactly.
The ambush, Ma, must have been frightening.
It was.
You ever experienced anything like that before?
No, thankfully.
That's true, isn't it? D.I. Denton, you've held down a lot of desk jobs. You're a bit of a backroom detective.
I believe I've done important work, sir.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You did well in a very testing situation, Mum.
Thank you.
You've never faced an anti-corruption hearing, have you, Mum?
No.
In 2002, DC Denton alleged a colleague was falsifying witness statements. The complaint was upheld. The officer was disciplined. In 2007, DS Denton alleged a colleague was making fraudulent expenses claims. The complaint was upheld. The officer was disciplined. D.I. Denton's demonstrated the utmost probity throughout her service career.
It takes courage to make a moral stand against your fellow officers. Except sometimes they don't see it that way.
No.
I direct you to document 7 in your folder. Document 7 for the tape is a map showing the location of the safe house, the ambush, and 4th Street Station.
For the tape, I'm indicating the route taken that night. 2 unmarked police vehicles departed the safe house, and the most direct route to 4th Street Station is via A roads. Instead, the vehicles travelled along Crown Avenue and then turned left into Long Lane, almost immediately after which the ambush took place.
Agreed and accepted?
Agreed and accepted.
The decision was taken not to go the fastest way, via A roads.
That's correct.
D.I. Denton was following D.S. Akers' instructions.
Akers chose the route.
Yeah.
This back route, it would lead to 4th Street Station, but only if you continued along Crown Avenue. The vehicles turned left into Long Lane.
Yeah.
You didn't question that decision?
No, sir.
You had a radio, didn't you?
Yeah.
So why didn't you question the decision?
Can we take a step back, please, and remind ourselves that D.I. Denton is being interviewed as a witness?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The decision appeared to make sense at the time. There were roadworks on Crown Avenue with temporary traffic signals controlling a single lane. It was a potential hold-up that would have left us vulnerable.
There were no roadworks on Crown Avenue that night. Works had been completed the day before.
I wasn't aware.
You didn't make a point of getting up-to-date travel information?
No.
You said Akers chose the route, but you seemed very familiar with the arguments. You were the ranking officer.
You and Akers discussed the route between you. That's more likely, isn't it?
Not more likely?
I think we should stop there.
Are you withdrawing your cooperation, D.I. Denton? D.I. Denton?
No, of course I cooperate.
Your vehicle was the only one that wasn't shot at.
They didn't need to. They'd knocked my car off the road. I took cover inside until they'd fled the scene.
You were in fear of your life.
Understandably.
According to the pathologist's report, Wallace and Butler died almost instantly from gunshot wounds. But Akers and a witness were alive.
The witness managed to put out the flames, but Akers, she couldn't. I threw my coat over her.
Well done, Mum.
Did you help get them out of the car? No?
They came out themselves, sir. They were already burning.
Sorry, there must have been a horrible sight.
It was.
We all appreciate that you've been through the most terrible situation, but we have a job to do. What we're trying to get at here, D.I. Denton, is how those gunmen knew where you were that night.
I wish I could help you, sir.
You do understand what we're investigating here, don't you, D.I. Denton? The possibility of information leakage.
Yeah, I understand.
And information leakage can only happen in two ways: deliberately
Officer corruption. They're in with the criminals.
or accidentally.
Officer incompetence. They fail to communicate securely.
This interview has to stop. If D.I. Denton is under suspicion, you need to issue her with a Regulation 15 notice.
This is still information gathering. We are a long way from a Reg 15.
Under AC-12's blanket authority to bet any officer connected to an ongoing investigation, we carried out financial checks on D.I. Denton.
I've requested that you stop.
Our strongest suspicion is that criminal interests tried to assassinate the witness to stop him from testifying. Now, those criminal interests would pay a pretty penny for an inside man or woman, and any officer in the financial difficulty that you are in, D.I. Denton, is duty-bound to declare it on the grounds that she would be vulnerable to bribery.
You're in debt up to your eyeballs.
Stop the tape. We're finished here.
My mother had to go into a nursing home. And council wouldn't pay, so we sold her house, but it wasn't enough, so we sold mine. But there was negative equity, so my mum is being looked after, but I'm stuck with mortgage payments on a horrible little place that I hate, and you people.
Lindsay, don't.
You people, you sit there and you try and twist some case out of my misfortunes. All I did was do my job. That's all I've ever done. I shouldn't have even been on duty that night. I'd do anything not to have been there, not to have picked up that call, because for all I know, it's going to take away the one good thing in my life, and that is being a police officer.
That how it works here?
Sometimes.
You should have told me you're going to treat her like a suspect.
We won't. She did that herself.
She was defenceless in there.
That's our rep's job, not ours.
What's ours then?
Catching criminals. Criminals we catch happen to be police officers. That's all there is to it.
You think she's a criminal? Well?
No.
So what gives you the right to treat her like one?
I've been through it. That gives me the right.
And having been through it, it doesn't bother you?
This is not for you. All you need to do is say.
It's for me.
Sergeant Alex Wallace and Constable Vince Butler both leave behind them families devastated by their loss.
Who were the other casualties?
A police detective was pronounced dead shortly afterwards. A second police detective suffered minor injuries. We're withholding both their names for operational reasons.
Can you confirm reports that there was another casualty, a civilian?
No. There's been an attack on the police. Those were my words on the night of the ambush. For the families that lost their loved ones, the hurt goes on. For those of us charged with finding their killers, we must set that pain aside and proceed with clear minds. And it's clear to me there's another attack on the police. An insidious and ultimately more devastating one. Our numbers have been cut back. Public safety has been jeopardized. There's no clearer indicator than the fact that on that night we weren't even able to protect ourselves. God asks us to forgive. But first we must gain justice for our fallen comrades. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, "Vengeance is mine, I will repay," saith the Lord.
Detective Sergeant Jane Akers leaves a loving husband, Richard Akers, and many colleagues devastated by her loss. The families of Sergeant Alex Wallace and Constable Vincent Butler will miss them terribly.
Sir.
You called me that night.
Yes, sir.
How are you bearing up?
Okay, thanks, sir.
So sorry for your loss. Thanks.
Very sorry for your loss.
Hi, it's me. Look, I've got to work late tonight. I'm sorry. Yeah, would you mind getting your stuff ready for school? Thanks, babe. Yeah, all right then. I'll speak to you in a bit. Bye. I'm sorry.
What for?
For tonight.
It doesn't matter much in the scheme of things. You two always used to end up side by side.
Do you think she ever knew?
When it mattered, she trusted us both with her life. The night of the ambush, she called me to call you.
To say what?
For you to call her back about the case she was working on.
Why didn't she call me direct? Was she worried her phone was tapped?
If you'd answered, you could have asked her yourself.
AC-12 interview. DI Lindsay Denton and Federation Rep DI Samuel.
Sorry, Tom, can I call you back? 5 minutes, mate. Cheers. I'm moving you up.
Where?
28.
Why?
Quality control are responding to complaints that non-high priority missing persons are being down processed. We've got to be seen to take action.
This is because I didn't cover for you.
I got a room full of detectives scoring 4s and 5s. After the balls up of the ambush. You're a 2, at best.
I'm taking this to HR.
Take it to Butler's missus. Wallace's kids.
Who's on this unit?
You.
And?
I'll find some DC or other. If there's one to work with you.
Well, nobody's blaming you. I mean, if those were Akers' instructions.
Akers chose the route.
Yeah.
Vehicles turned left into Long Lane.
Yeah.
You didn't question that decision?
No, sir.
Computer on the blink.
I'm an old-fashioned girl. I listened to the tape.
Well, you didn't want to get involved.
Denton picked the route
We don't know that.
and tried to pin it on Jane Akers.
She was nervous.
Easiest ploy in the world. Blame the dead person.
May I, sir?
Sure.
She said just because I reported him missing doesn't mean I wanted him back.
All right, lads, who's for the pub?
Good, it's your round.
Thank you for making time to see me today. As I told you on the telephone, I'm heading up a newly formed unit that's taken over the search for Carly.
Well, anything we can do to help.
Before she went missing, did you notice anything unusual about Carly's behaviour?
She'd always been difficult. A lot of them are that we take in.
And how did her difficult nature manifest itself?
You try and make them stay in school, not go out late. If they go out, maybe it's the pictures or...
Carly drifted back into her old ways, or what they said were her old ways. Out late, drinking, smoking. Boys too.
We found a used condom in her room.
We did our best not to push her away.
Yeah?
Just wanted to ask you a couple of questions, Mum.
Which should take place following legal notice and in the presence of my Police Federation rep.
You can do all that if you prefer, Mum, but you're being interviewed as a witness, not a suspect.
Yeah, I've heard that one before.
We had a job to do. I'm sorry. But thanks to your cooperation, our investigation's moving on.
Look, this isn't a trap, Mum. You're the last living person to have had contact with DS Akers. We need to form a view of her mental state that night. How was she behaving?
She was on edge. Nervous. I'd say very nervous.
Did she give any reason why she wasn't in contact with her own team?
No, she didn't.
Did she refer to any process?
Sorry, Gaffer. You said you wanted these straight away.
That's all right, thank you. It's my new DC, Kate Foster.
Hi.
You were saying?
Did DS Akers refer to any process of clearing her actions with their superiors?
No, she didn't.
Did she discuss any role played by other members of her team?
No, she didn't.
As far as you could tell, who was DS Akers working with?
As far as I could tell, DS Akers appeared to be working alone.
That's been very helpful. Thank you, Mom.
I asked Kate to check out the operational options. Neither of us suspected she'd get embedded so quickly. You know, there was an unfulfilled post for Denton's DC.
Yeah, well, a heads up would have been nice.
Do you want her out? What the hell were you doing there anyway? Interviewing Denton again?
Well, we're not allowed to investigate Akers, so why ask Denton about her?
Full marks for ingenuity, son.
Supposing Akers was the inside woman.
Sorry, Steve.
All right, Tom. Thanks for coming.
Steve, meet the trouble and strife.
Have you been here before, Steve?
I haven't, no. It looks a nice place.
Yeah, we've heard some good things, haven't we, love? Oh, and speaking of good things...
I'm not late, am I? Sorry. I'm Roisin. Georgia.
A drink, Steve?
I'm still on this beer, thanks.
Georgia?
If anyone fancies wine?
Yep. Wine list, please.
Oh, you're on beer.
What, do you want one? Sorry. A beer here, please. So Steve's been an SE for a year now, and every day has felt like a lifetime.
That'd make me about your age, sir.
He also likes the banter, the cheeky wee
Ted.
boy. I was going to say a cheeky wee boy.
You're new to Ted's unit.
Transferred from armed robbery.
You'll be at home here then. For these prices.
Very generous. Thanks, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Pleasure.
You're lovely meeting you both.
See you tomorrow then.
Night.
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 Night, boss.
Night.
Do you need a lift?
Bus stop's just here.
On that way.
You okay to drive?
Do you fancy a nightcap?
What are you having?
I'll get these. I insist.
Right. Beer. Whatever they've got.
Pint of Peroni, half a Pilsner, a double vodka.
Thank you for that. I always wanted to try the place. I got you out on false pretenses, is that it?
I didn't detect any pressing reason for keeping up appearances.
I'm their boss.
And picking up the bill. That really took the price. For my benefit, was it?
Bottles now.
Work in the morning.
Oh, that little thing. When I first arrived, what did you say to Hastings when you were alone in the office?
Just talking operational parameters.
You're such a crap liar.
I just wanted to know more about you.
All right. Here are 3 facts about me, but one of them is false.
You're bitten off more than you can chew, Trotman. I do this for a living.
Well, let's see, shall we? I'm a gifted horsewoman. I won a poetry competition when I was 11. I'm a secret pool hustler.
You don't know one end of a pool cue from the other.
Is it so hard to comprehend a man wanting to spend the evening with his wife?
And this hurts me too.
This is a really stupid idea.
Yeah. Best not.
Best not.
Which was a false one, by the way?
The girl never tells.
What do you want?
Yeah, thanks for that. Stay in touch.
Cheers.
News from the hospital. The docs are going to try the witness off the ventilator later on today. He's on the mend.
When do we get to interview?
No, rest assured, our foot is in the door. If anyone's got answers to the questions he has. It's good crack last night. You too. Huh?
This is so reductive.
I'm concerned. There's a news vacuum, and what'll be used to fill it?
Well, the Chief Constable's as concerned as I am about any leak that a police officer might have been an accomplice. We're looking at using anti-terror legislation to keep a lid on it.
You can't invite them to dinner and not serve pudding.
I need a breakthrough.
I didn't say that. We need to keep the bastards on side, that's all.
Are you any nearer finding those responsible?
We're pursuing several productive lines of inquiry. I'm very pleased with the progress of the investigation.
Yeah, but do you have any suspects?
A breakthrough is imminent.
Deputy Chief Constable Michael Dryden has taken personal charge of the investigation.
A breakthrough is imminent.
Nope.
Anything I can do, boss?
Just need to run an errand. Be back in half an hour.
Drive you?
Tony.
DC Fleming, requesting urgent identification on the last number dialed from a payphone on the corner of Ridgeway Street and Sandhurst Lane.
Received.
Thanks. Get back to me as soon as you can. DC Fleming.
DC Fleming, we have the call ID you requested.
Go ahead.
It's the main switchboard number of the General Hospital.
Thanks.
Kate.
Denton just made a call to the hospital from a payphone. Get over there, Steve. Check on the witness.
Georgia.
Yes, on it.
Steve, I've been on to the hospital. There's no answer from the guard unit. I've got someone else trying again. You just get up there as fast as you can, okay?
Where's the guards? Good to go.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nurse, where's...
Well, what about that for an opener? Can't wait for the next one. Line of Duty, same time, same place, next Wednesday night at 9 here on BBC Two.